Hi everyone, it's me Little Bird. In my previous video, I gave you 4 love stories. In the next couple of videos, I'm going to give you those stories in depth. When I was 14, I tried to commit suicide twice. And because of this influence in my life, I was pulled off of a path. And then Creator, he sent me my cousin. And she brought me to my first round dance. And their Creator introduced me to somebody that he wanted in my life. This man, or this boy, was supposed to help me to open up and speak about those things that I wouldn't tell anybody. And it was easy because I couldn't see his face when I'd talk to him. So I go to this round dance, and it's the first time that I've ever been to a round dance. And it's a winter carnival at Poundmakers Treatment Center in St. Albert, Alberta. The round dance is inside the center in the gym. And outside at the winter carnival, there's snowshoes and cross-country skiing, skating, bonfires, hay rides, storytelling, and other activities. But I stayed inside because this is the first time I'd ever been to a round dance. And I told my cousin, when I seen all the people in a circle, in a double circle, I said, that's what I seen over top of Chapon. She looks at me and she says, really? What? What do you mean? I said, when Grandma passed away, I seen these little tiny people over top of Chapon, and they were holding hands and they were dancing like this. I said, I didn't know what they were doing. I said, they were doing a round dance. And I was so blown away. And I loved the fact that the drum was like a heartbeat. And that everybody just moved with it. And not only the people that were dancing, but all the people that were in there. It's the most beautiful thing I'd seen. And then I wanted to go and check on my brothers because they hadn't been inside, and they'd been outside for a long time. And I knew it was cold. So I started walking up the stairs, and this young guy came down the stairs. I was holding the banister, so I moved to the right to let him walk down. And his face is red. You can tell he's been outside for a long time. And when we passed each other, my whole left side of my body was really warm. And here I felt something I couldn't explain. And it stopped me in my tracks. And I looked back at him. And he was standing there and he was looking up at me, and he's got this puzzled look on his face. Did you feel that? I said, what did you feel? He goes, I'm not trying to pick you up or anything, but that was incredible. I said, what did you feel? He So he explained the exact same feeling that I got. He comes up to my stair and introduces himself. He says, "Hello, my name is Ren." And me and Ren, we ended up clicking. We just walked around the rest of that evening talking nonstop. It was like we had been in each other's life our whole life. He was like my cousin. You know, the one person that I could talk to about so much. But with Ren, I could tell him about everything. And he didn't judge me. So all those things that had made me want to commit suicide earlier that year, I let out. All the things that had happened to me in my life up until then, I let out. And then we lost touch. We lost touch the night that I almost got raped, or the night after I almost got raped. I was telling him about what had happened to me, and he told me that I needed to confront this. And he told his grandfather what happened. And his grandfather was going to come and drive to me. To Devon. And take me to the police station so that I could charge this person. So that I could stand up for myself. And then as his grandfather is talking to me, the phone line goes dead. And I tried calling him back, collect. And the operator said, that number doesn't exist. So then I tried to dial it with the rotary phone. And then I got this message that this number is no longer in service. This was in the evening, the late evening, and it didn't make sense to me. And I tried and tried and tried to get a hold of him for days because he was my best friend. I talked to him every day. And I didn't get a hold of him. And when I was 28, I was dating this guy who was new in recovery, and I had 2.5 years clean time. I had everything going for me in my life. I had friends, I had respect of everyone. I had a boyfriend, I had a good job, I had a good relationship with my family, I had a good relationship with my children, I had my own home. I had rebuilt my life after my life had crumbled from my marriage ending. And then something happened, and these men were arrested in my home. And the day that they were arrested, I lost my phone, so my contact with my family and friends. I lost my friends. I lost my sanity. I lost my house. I lost my job. I lost my possessions. I lost myself. And I moved to Edmonton. And I stayed with my mom. And my mom helped me to get a place in her building. But I listened to all those thoughts that told me to just forget about all those lies that those guys told me. Those ones that were arrested in my home. Just use drugs. Forget about it. They're just liars anyway. These thoughts came from outside of myself. And I listened to them. And then one day, there was a knock on the door, and it was for my sister-in-law. And this girl came to pick her up, and she had a guy with her. My sister-in-law left. And then a couple of days later, after I dropped my daughter off at school, I was walking home, and I seen this guy in front of my house, my apartment. So I invited him in. I thought that he's in front of the apartment to come and knock on my door again for my sister-in-law. So I invited him in. And he goes and he comes in, and we all just get along. We all just came together. We got along. We had laughter and good times, and he came all the time. He came over all the time. And then after about 3 weeks of him coming over, it's like, how did you guys meet anyway? Who did you meet first? My brother looks at me and he says, Ma, I met him the day that you brought him over. And I looked over at my sister-in-law and she said, yeah, I met him through you. And I looked at Ren and I was like, what? And Ren says, yeah. Because I had never met any of you guys. He goes, but you invited me in and you seem like a really nice person and we get along really good. Like, I've never had a friendship like this bond. I was like, Ren, is your name short for something? He says, no, my name's Ren. And I said, have you ever been to a round dance? He says, I'm Indian. I'm native. Yes, I have. I said, have you ever been to a round dance at Poundmaker's Treatment Center? And he laughs and he's like, my grandpa used to storytell there. So I explained, I said, in the winter, I said, did you ever meet some girl on the stairs? He looks at me. Betsy? I was like, yeah, that's me. And we jumped into each other's arms. See, when we got along famously, we were all users. We were all on crystal meth. And we were all speaking about all the things that we missed in our lives. All the things that were happening, but I was holding on to something. And Ren, he loved me for me, not sexually or anything. He loved me for me, my spirit. And it was a spiritual connection that we had because Creator brought us together. That year, shortly after we realized that we had met when we were 14, I had an overdose. And Ren wasn't supposed to be at my house, but he came to my door frantic because he knew something was wrong. Him and my brother and my sister-in-law came to my bedroom and found me laying on the ground, face first into my rug, not breathing. Ren saved my life. God placed Ren in my life to save my life. And I'm sure that He's placed people in your life to save you. Or you know somebody like Ren.